Hola! Hi guys! A few hours later, so we will complete this. Oh my god, I am parched. Okay, so let's... Hessu ruins. The Hessu ruins are larger than I expected. This place used to be an underground temple from ancient times. It was later converted into an exhibition site. The main exhibition area is in the middle, and there are two exhibition rooms on the left and right sides. Tourists can visit them all for free. Paris, you seem to be awfully familiar with this place. Did you also visit this place the last time you came to Khaimit? Yeah, I came here with my brother when I was a kid. It's been many years since then, but the layout doesn't seem to have changed much. Alright, the introduction has ended. Let's hurry and start our investigation. The exhibition has 3 districts. Where should we start? How about we do the same as before? I think it will be faster if we split up. That's true. Our objectives won't be so noticeable if we split up. Very well, we shall move to it separately. We should regroup here once we are done investigating. Is mommy going to get better? As long as the pharaoh grants my wish. Hello there, are you alright? My mom is sick. She said that as long as I tell the great pharaoh about it, the pharaoh will definitely help her. So I came here to tell the pharaoh about my mom's illness. I came here by myself. Aren't I amazing? You are very brave, but I think your mom should still see a doctor about her sickness. How about I help you? No need. Mom's still waiting for me at home. I've got to go. Huh? He sounds very determined. So let's see here. It's coming. A vision from God has come. In 3 days, on the day of the full moon, the great pharaoh Hepharet will show a miracle. I can't wait. My wish will finally come true. Huh? Could you please tell me more about the miracle you mentioned? When I was praying to Pharaoh by the stone slab earlier, I suddenly heard the oracle's edict. The oracle's edict said that the Pharaoh would reveal a miracle in 3 days. This definitely has to be true. Really? I didn't hear anything at all. Where's the stone slab you mentioned? Can I have a look at it? It's in the East exhibition room. If you don't believe me, then you will once you have a look at it. A stone slab and a miracle is getting more and more ridiculous. So here. Hello, welcome to the ruins. I am the tour guide here. You can look for me if you need help with anything. Okay, thank you. Are the murals on this wall all from the ancient Khaimit period? There seems to be some introductory text about the murals here. The god of storms descended into the world, and the pharaoh is the representative of that god. Seth is the god of storms in ancient Khaimit, so this figure with a beast head on the mural must be Seth, right? Huh? Are the tourists visiting the statue of the pharaoh? This stone statue of the pharaoh is massive. The edges of the statue have repair marks. It must have been restored before. Great pharaoh, please grant my wish. Please, I will give you everything. My wish is for my wife to get well soon. Oh, they aren't sightseeing. Are they praying? Miss, are you also here to make a wish? Come, you can have this seat beside me. No need. I'm just here to take a look. By the way, were you just making a wish? That's right. This stone statue has a wonderful power that can convey our wishes to the great pharaoh Hepharet. Why don't you give it a try? The great pharaoh will surely grant your wish. No, it's quite alright. Thank you. Well, the people here seems to believe in the power of Hepharet. Hessu ruins. Is that Dr. Richter talking to a lady? While strolling to the West Exhibition area, you catch a glimpse of Vin talking to a lady in front of a stone tablet. He looks as put together as he usually does, but the lady looks oddly overcome. Dr. Richter, I haven't mistaken anything. I, Scarlet Arkwright, was born to be free. I will follow Pharaoh Hepharet. That's why my life is meant for. To avoid the conflict, you quickly rush up to them and interrupt their conversation. What are you guys talking about? Not much, we were just having a chat. Vin puts on a warm smile, feigning normalcy. He nods at you, then beckons to you as if he was trying to introduce a friend. This is Scarlet Arkwright, whom I mentioned to you before. She is passionate about the culture of ancient Khaimit. Arkwright? Ah, wasn't she the lady who was interested in the history of ancient Khaimit and went missing? Despite the unexpectedness of the situation, you keep your emotions in check and introduce yourself with courtesy. Nice to meet you, Miss Arkwright. I am Shiraira, an attorney from Themis law firm. What's going on here? What's an attorney doing all the way out here? Dr. Richter, are you plotting with this attorney here to take me back? As soon as she is aware of your identity, Scarlet immediately becomes hostile. From her action, you can roughly guess the situation that Vin had gotten himself into. After seeing Vin, Scarlet subconsciously thought that he was here on her family's behalf to look for her. Now, she might be extremely uncooperative with you. In order to make her lower her guard, you should... So, what line? Miss Arkwright, this is a misunderstanding. We're simply here on a sightseeing trip. We didn't expect this chance to encounter with you. This must be fate. Yes, this must be fate indeed. You're here on a trip? You should have said so earlier. Dr. Richter, I thought you wouldn't be interested in Khaimit. As expected, Scarlet Arkwright looks much more relaxed now. It seems like she was convinced by your explanation. I am glad that I had this opportunity to travel to Khaimit. Mr. Arkwright, could you briefly tell us about your experience in Khaimit? Of course I can. Feel free to ask about whatever you want to know. Miss Arkwright, which places have you visited during your time in Khaimit? Me and Rubis can apart. I've been to them all. In the end, I decided to stay here. Hessu ruins is where my soul belongs. In other words, you've been in the vicinity of the Hessu ruins recently? Yes, this is the only place where I can hear the oracle's edict given to me by Hepharet. Every word she says is full of wisdom. It purifies my mind. Miss Arkwright, have you really heard the Pharaoh's oracle's edict? Of course, that was the day of prayer when, following the guidance of the Seth spawn, I closed my eyes and heard the Pharaoh's oracle's edict. The Pharaoh's voice was so gentle that it was like a fresh breeze brushing my heart. At that moment, I thought I must have traveled through time and back to that glorious era. Follow the guidance of Seth's bone and find the eternity. Does that refer to this? Seth's bone? Oh yeah, I don't seem to see her wearing the necklace that Vin mentioned before. Hepharet. Miss Arkwright, you seem to have a particular fondness of the Pharaoh Hepharet. Yes, she is the person I grew up admiring the most. She has always been as good as a god in my heart. As a woman, she could do things that most men couldn't and lead the people who admire her to the path of happiness. For the sake of her people, she even sacrificed her love. Although she had a sincere love interest for the sake of her people, she did not disclose his identity due to the rules of that time. Do you mean the affair between Hepharet and her heavyweight Musen? Yes, I admire such driven, career-minded people. If I could be as brave as she was, then I would have left Celis earlier to live here on my own. The day of prayer is the great pharaoh Hepharet has a set time each month to issue oracles to the subjects who trust her. That day is called the day of prayer. If you express the sincerity of your heart to Pharaoh on the day of prayer, the Pharaoh will send an oracle to guide you. Is it really possible? Are we also privileged to be able to pray to the Pharaoh on the day of prayer? Of course, you can. This month's day of prayer is in 3 days. I'll also be there on that day. The two of you just need to pray sincerely to the stone slab that records the deeds of Pharaoh in the East Exhibition Hall. The Pharaoh will hear you. Dr. Richter, you will believe it once you see it with your own eyes. This is a miracle from heaven, a testament to the eternal wisdom of the Pharaoh. I see. I will look forward to it. Says one. By the way, Miss Arkwright, can you tell me what exactly it means to follow the guidance of Seth's spoon? And I heard that you have a peculiar necklace named Seth's bone. I don't seem to have to see you wearing it today. Looks like you have done your homework very well before coming here, Miss Shuraira. So think that you're even aware of that. I left the necklace in the hostel. It has just been exposed to the power of Pharaoh. It requires some rest. Rest? The necklace needs rest? Of course, everything in the world is alive, conscious, and has its own power. Seth's bone is a sacred object that absorbs the power of the earth and the storm. It can connect with the consciousness of the Pharaoh. This is starting to sound more and more ridiculous. Dr. Richter, Miss Attorney, do you guys have any other questions? No, that's alright. Thank you, Miss Arkwright. Alright, I'll leave first then. You guys should come here in 3 days' time. I hope you guys can see the miracle with me. Scarlet Arkwright leaves in a hurry after she finishes speaking, leaving you and Vin staring at each other awkwardly. After listening to her passionate words, the whole thing feels a little surreal. Does she really see the world the same way as I do? I guess there are some things that we can only judge after seeing it personally. Vin, why don't we head over to have a look at that stone slab that Miss Arkwright mentioned? Maybe there's something recorded on the slab. Very well, we shall go and have a look at it. Sorry, it's just that I'm so freaking tired, you know? Yeah, let's continue. Is it here? Sorry. Is this the stone slab, the one that Miss Arkwright was talking about? Yes, a stone tablet that records the life of Hepharet. This should be the one, if I'm not mistaken. But it doesn't look like there's anything special. Oh, wait a minute. Have a look, Vin. There are some very clear marks on the side of the stone slab. These marks seem to have been made by something a long time ago. But as for what they are, we can't exactly tell. How about I ask everyone to come have a look at it? Alright, perhaps the others will have new ideas. Okay, Dr. Richter, wait here for a little while. I'll go and call everyone else over. Great, everyone's here. I was just about to go look for you guys. What happened? Did you come across something? Yeah, we met someone earlier. You briefly describe what happened with Scarlet Arkwright and the stone slab. That reminds me. While I was talking with the tourists just now, they also mentioned the stone slab. They said something along the lines of, as long as you sincerely offer your treasures to the Pharaoh, she will grant your deepest desires. That's a scam if I ever saw one. I can't believe those people actually believe it. During my investigation, the tourists that I encountered all mentioned the stone slab carved with the oracle's edit. I think there might be some hidden information on the slab. There's still something I don't quite get it. On their so-called day of prayer, there was quite a crowd of people gathered there. Wouldn't the local police find this whole thing a little strange? We've been here for a while now, and I don't think I've seen any police here. I know the reason for this. A visitor just told me that the Day of Prayer is a traditional festival in Khaimit. The locals normally offer their blessing to the gods they worship on this day. Because of this, the police probably thought that the things happening here were just an ordinary cultural event and didn't pay too much attention. But is it really okay to leave things unchecked, especially in an exhibition area like this? After the Hessu ruins was renovated, it was open to tourists free of charge. The people of Khaimit believe in freedom and self-discipline. Heritage sites like these are usually cared for by the locals on a voluntary shift-based system. Therefore, they won't assign staff members to deliberately look after places like this. Is that so? Let's forget about this for now. Vin is still waiting for us by the slab. Let's go over and have a look. Okay, let's go now. Maybe we might have some success in discovering details that we left out before. Hessu ruins. After you and Artem returned to the East Exhibition District, you saw Vin hunched over, inspecting something on the side of the stone slab. Dr. Richter, what are you looking at? There you are. Vin gazed up upon hearing your voice, brushing the dust off his hands. He then points to some particularly visible markings on the side of the slab. I was just observing the range at which this marking appears. Look, these markings are all around the slab. Also, they aren't evenly distributed, and some markings run deeper than others. The marking on the right side of the slab is more apparent than the ones on the front of the slab. Yeah, the marking seems to be made from some kind of thin steel wire. And as for the ones on the left, it's pretty obvious that those were caused by the wires being tied around something. The person who wrapped the wire probably used more force on the right side of habit, which made the marks more apparent on the right side. So you're saying that someone tied something up here? Or, well, something was secured here. Oh, right. Miss Albright said that the pharaoh will appear on top of the stone tablet to listen to everyone's wishes on the day of prayer. Then, is it possible that someone used steel wires to secure themselves onto this stone slab? Like some kind of Kung Fu movie wire work? Yeah, is that possible? That sounds not very likely. The stone slab is too weak. There's no way it can be used as an anchor for steel wires. In other words, your hypothesis doesn't work. If that's the case, then what could possibly leave those marks? Also, what kind of prayer would the pharaoh actually give? You can't help but sink deep into thought. Why don't we come back on the day of prayer and have a look for ourselves? Well, the only way to discover her secrets is to see her in person. Okay, let's come back again after a few days. Oh my god. What do I do? If this manuscript doesn't arrive in time, he won't be in time for the workshop. Oh my god, save me, somebody. Hey, what's wrong? Phew, here's the thing. I'm an assistant to a chemistry professor at the Rubis Institute, and our professor is going to a seminar at the institute near me and CBD today. However, I realized that he has actually forgotten to bring a very important manuscript with him. I was going to send it over to him, but my experiment is only halfway through. I can't just drop everything and leave. He looks very anxious. Mister, I can deliver the manuscript for you. Really? Thank you so much. I'll contact the professor right away and tell him about it. He'll be waiting for you in the CBD of Nien. I'll be leaving it to you then. Don't worry, I'll make sure to deliver it in time. What do I do? If the manuscript doesn't arrive, I really won't make it in time. Hello, Professor. This is the manuscript that your assistant asked me to bring. Great, this is it. Thank you, kind lady. If it wasn't for your help, I wouldn't have known what to do by now. Sometimes your memory gets worse the older you get. You're welcome. I'm happy to be of help. Okay, that's all. Oh, God, thank you. Okay, so that is Khaimit. I'm not SoTT for resources. Jump erect. When you arrive at the burial temple, a kind looking. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, wait. Be right back. When you arrive at the burial temple, a kind-looking old man is waiting there. Welcome to Rubis. Are you guys the volunteers that Yahya mentioned? Oh, okay. So, okay. Let me recap. So this is the okay, so first after the prologue we are divided into two parts. The first part we have completed and this is the second part. Yes, are you the curator of Rubis Museum? Yes, our museum is in charge of the excavation here, along with the institute, so you guys can ask me any question. Can you briefly introduce this place to us? Sure, because of its location in the Ita Desert, we name it the Tomb of Ita. This huge burial temple consists of a sacrificial temple above ground and an underground mausoleum. You are currently looking at the former. You look around and see rows of mortal stone pillars clustered around a temple that is very representative of Khaimit's style. The temple stands quietly amidst the golden sands. The temple is the place of worship for several main gods, including the sun god, the jackal god, and the god of storms. This must be the most revered god in ancient Khaimit mythology. Indeed, previously we already knew of the large-scale underground mausoleum existence, but had not yet started excavation due to certain geological and infrastructural factors. Who would have thought that the grave robbers would have gotten to it first? Now that the infrastructure is in place, we need to conduct a conservation excavation of this mausoleum to minimize the damage. But Rubis is a small place and it's also difficult to recruit staff from all over Khaimit. Thus, we need volunteers to help. I see. Do you know who this tomb is for? This tomb is not for one person, but several. Our initial analysis shows that these are the royal tombs from the 2nd to 8th dynasties. It's very rare to see such a large-scale royal family mausoleum in Khaimit. Well, I heard that the grave robbers would hide the stolen artifact inside as well. So in addition to the original things, there might also be other treasures found down here. Indeed, these grave robbers are a large, well-organized gang which have criminal records throughout Khaimit, plundering countless treasures. We have excavated part of it, but there are still some parts that remain unexplored. I see, and you are aiming to bring out all the treasures down there back out, right? This is how it works. Volunteers usually work in groups of 3 to 5. One of them will need to stay on the ground to manipulate the detector to pinpoint to pinpoint the location for the people excavating down below. Detector. Yep, it's the latest instrument we put in the use recently, which is able to detect the general structure of the tomb and the location of the artifacts. It even tells you the general type of whatever artifact it is you're looking for. It makes your exploration easier and more accessible. The person who directs the exploration is very important because they will determine the efficiency and direction. I will stay up on ground with this person. If you find any artifacts, bring them to me as soon as you can to facilitate subsequent identification. How about it? Who would like to stay up here? While contemplating, you spot them all looking at you in unison. Of course, sis Shiraira. Indeed, it is the best option for Shiraira to stay up on the ground. The situation in the grave is unknown and it could be dangerous. I agree, the support work on the ground requires care and patience, and Shiraira is perfect for it. Excavation is a physical job and it is very tough. Shiraira, you should just stay up here and wait for us to come back. They come to an agreement very quickly on this matter, despite the fact that they usually rarely agree with each other. Looks like there's no way out of it. Well, I think it's a pretty good idea for me to stay up here and help the others in exploring the tombs. With this in mind, you nod to the curator. Okay, I'll stay up here. The four people around you nod in satisfaction upon hearing you say that. Haha, okay, then you stay up here, young lady. By the way, artifact excavation is only part of your work as a volunteer. After everything is excavated, I am going to hold a special exhibition of the artifacts from these mausoleums. However, it might not be possible to hold it immediately given the condition of the artifacts, and some preparation is necessary. So we'll also require your assistance during this period if required. Can I ask what kind of work there will be? Very basic tasks such as inviting experts for artifact identification and delivering collections, etc. Don't worry, you will be provided with some basic knowledge and skill training before becoming a volunteer. You can start working right away after passing the test. Okay, I understand. Then please come join the training as soon as possible once everything's in check. Okay. You then receive the knowledge and practical training course on excavation work provided for volunteers and successfully pass the test. Finally, you can enter the tomb. I wonder what kind of ancient artifact they will find. Standing at the entrance of the chamber, you look towards the end of the deep tunnel with great anticipation. Okay. During okay. Okay. Okay, so this is like this. Can I left? No, can't. Yeah, that's... Hmm. Hmm. What? See. Ah. So like I. Hmm. Hmm. See? Okay. This is scarab. This scarab is really beautiful. The sun patterns on it should be made of rubies. It sounds like something very valuable. It is very precious indeed. From the style, it should be a burial object of Pharaoh Mrs. during the 4th dynasty. It was supposed to be placed in the location of his heart as an amulet for the deceased. Amulet? Yes, the scarab is also known as the dung beetle. It may be insignificant in your culture, but it is one of the sacred beings of ancient Khaimit people. They believe that scarabs can help them pass their trial in the underworld and be born anew. I recall hearing somewhere that the trial is the ritual of weighing the heart. The Khaimit people believe that the gods of the underworld will place a person's heart on a scale with a feather on the other end. If the heart is lighter than the feather, it means that the person did less evil in life and can go to the next life without any problem. On the other hand, if the contrary happens, the person will be devoured by evil spirits. Also, scarabs can use their magic to make the heart lighter and thus allow the person to successfully pass the trial. Becomes lighter. Isn't this considered cheating? Cheating? You can take it that way, but for them, the afterlife is extremely important. But why did the ancients believe that the scarab would work in such an important ritual? There are many reasons that have been identified so far, but the most important one is that the ancients found the way it pushes balls of soul soil forward similar to them pushing a sun. The sun rises, the moon sets, and the ages change. They are related to this tiny bug which can be considered as a representative of the laws of the universe. Speaking of which, young lady, could you do me a favor? What is it? I want to put a scarab next to this exhibit when it launches so that visitors can get a better idea of how they transport these balls of earth. I have to prepare for the launch, so I'd like you to help me borrow a scarab from the natural science exhibition next door. A scarab? No problem, just leave it to me. Oh, we get it. Okay. We got 4 of them. Alright. Gee, I think. Wait, the last one is what? Okay. So oh my god. Okay, shadow of resurrection. There is a stocking wearing the badge from Nature Exhibition area at the entrance. Guess I'll ask him. Hello, I would like to borrow a scarab for an exhibition in the heritage section. Who should I speak to about this? Did the curator ask you to come? He has told me about it, so I was waiting for you at the entrance. My apologies, but all of our scarabs are currently on loan for other exhibitions. None of them are currently in Rubis. Well, the curators asked. In that case, I have a proposal. It is said that there are a lot of scarabs in the area, so we might be able to get one nearby. Well, yes, there are scarab colonies in the nearby desert, but it will be quite troublesome for visitors to try capturing them. It's okay, I am willing to try as long as I can help the curator. It will be much appreciated. By the way, here are the details of their colony. Follow this and you will find it faster. Here are some containers and tools. You can put the scarabs inside the containers. Okay. Following the staff member's direction, you finally find a few scarabs after some time. The small golden green beetles are busily rolling balls of earth in front of them as they scuttle forward. They look as though they are pushing against the sun. Autumn takes out the tools given by the staff, scooping 2 beetles into the container. Scarab's habitat. Oh, beautiful. Oh, the way the scarabs are holding their earth balls make them look just like the amulet. It looks very powerful since it's able to push balls of earth much bigger than its tiny body. Yes, perhaps its persistence was what inspired the people of ancient Khaimit. There is a certain breathiness to his voice, with fine beads of sweat beading on his forehead. His usually neat hair also looks like slightly muffled. You're reminded of how serious he looked while capturing the scarabs. Thank you for your hard work. Here's some water. Thanks. You're always so serious about things. One of the reasons why I'm here is to help the curator. However, the other reason is because I wanted to see these scarabs in person. He screws the cap back on and turns his attention to the creatures inside the container again. Now I can understand why the ancient Khaimit people would worship them. However, Archie muses for a second. I still cannot agree with what the curator said about these scarabs being able to lessen the weight of the heart. A person's heart was weighted against the feather of Ma'at for the sake of fair judgment. However, actions such as these have already tarnished the fairness of those skills. As an attorney, I think it should be corrected. Saying so, he smiled to himself as if suddenly remembering something. I don't know if you find me too boring after prattling on so much on my own without realizing it. Why would I? I think it's really like you to do so. You winked at Artem. You never forget your own responsibilities ever, just like one would expect from someone like you. What? It's getting late. Let's hurry and get this to the creator. Rubis Museum. Here you go, curator. This is the scarab we have just found. Let me have a look. Yes, it is a scarab. I will take good care of it. The staff over there have told me about it. I really appreciate you catching the beetle by yourself. You are welcome. If there's nothing else, we'll take our leave now. See you later. Okay, see you both. Okay. Is this all that we can do? Okay, this is it. Oh my god, I'm so freaking tired. Okay, now I want to show you something. I got it. Sorry. This acquisition. Yeah, I need to judge, and I will, stop it. I got this. Yeah. And this. Yeah, and this is the new one. So yeah, I think that's all. Oh my god, you do not know how much I pay for it. I also do not know. I just bought. So then, okay, that's all for my, this pulling, and that's all. And oh yeah, the last one, this big data lab. Oh my god. Okay. Mian is one of the oldest cities in the world. It existed as the capital ever since the beginning of the ancient Khaimit dynasty. Thousands of years later, it remains the most bustling city center in the whole of Khaimit. Because the outskirts of Mian are covered by desert, it is also called the desert capital. If you're planning to travel to Khaimit, stopping by Mian is a must. Rubis Museum. Rubis Museum, located on the east coast of Rubis, is one of the world's most famous museums. The precious artifacts held by the museum primarily consist of cultural artifacts originating from ancient Khaimit. The locals call it the ancient kingdom's treasure. Hessu ruins. The Hessu ruins are those of a temple from the ancient kingdom of Khaimit, located within the Ita Desert. Archaeological research indicates that the order to build the temple was made by the first female pharaoh of ancient Khaimit, Hepharet. A number of Khaimit cultural artifacts have been found there. Following the completion of the protection excavation, it has now been turned into a heritage park providing free tours for visitors. Ita Desert. The Ita Desert runs through the entire western region of Khaimit, occupying two-thirds of Khaimit's total area. Owing to the special climate, many of the ancient relics buried in the desert have been perfectly preserved, and the region is now one of the hottest spots for archaeological exploration. Khaimit. Khaimit is located in the tropical northeastern region. 90% of the land is desert, and semi-desert regions make it a desert nation. Sedimentation of the thousands of years that have elapsed since the ancient Khaimit Empire have given the land a mystical atmosphere. Beneath the golden sand lie buried countless fascinating legends and cultural relics waiting to be explored by a curious adventurer. Culture. Custom. Seth's born. A gold pendant model of ancient Khaimit's god of storms, Seth. Apparently, it has the mysterious power to break through the boundary between the world of the living and the dead. It's fascinating. Would it work for me too? Yes, there is no. Figures. Historical figures. Hepharet. Hepharet broke the kingdom's male-only tradition as the first female pharaoh of ancient Khaimit. She led the entire kingdom into a long reign of prosperity, and it became the strongest country in the land. She was an outstanding woman, deserving of the praise of future generations. Okay, that's all. So we will see tomorrow for another secret of the tomb.